Hey, what's up everybody? It's the Crypto Ginger here. I just wanted to quickly focus on some of the more positive news regarding Ripple and XRP, especially since we've been hearing quite a bit of a slam of negative news around the whole JP Morgan cryptocurrency coin called the JPM coin, and quite possibly being a threat to XRP or even Ripple the company. I want to reserve that for a different type of video and talk a little bit more in depthly about the controversy between the JPM coin and of course XRP. But of course I wanted to again focus on some of the more highlighted news that's positive, and of course allows us to know that Ripple has maintained their strength and their pursuit on what they're trying to do on a global scale. And even the use case of XRP is being expanded upon. For example, we have an article here from A&B Crypto where we see that XSpring, which is actually associated with Ripple, they're going to be investing money into Weitse projects when it comes to like the XRP tip bot or even XRPL labs. Now, if you're unfamiliar with who Weitse is, he's definitely a prominent figure when it comes to the XRP community, especially through Twitter. And he is also someone who's created the XRP tip bot, which is definitely something that if you are a content creator through YouTube or even Twitter, you can actually get tipped XRP using this application here. Now, of course, according to this article here, we see that Vanessa Pastrito, who is the director of XSpring at Ripple, has announced recently that they will be doing this investment into, again, Weitse creations. More importantly, a focus on the XRP tip bot and XRPL labs. And of course, this is definitely huge news for Weitse. We can actually see that Vanessa Pastrito, again, who's part of XSpring, stated here that at XSpring, we are focused on growing the ecosystem around the Interledger protocol and XRP Ledger. To do so, we need to work with developers that share the vision of interoperable blockchains and new use cases for XRP. One of those developers is Weitse. I definitely agree with that particular statement there, just simply because, again, what we've seen when it comes to Weitse on Twitter and his development with his applications, things that he's actually currently working on right now, this is actually big news for him. It's big news for the XRP community, and I would imagine this right here is just going to scale out the development of what his project team is working on when it comes to different types of applications. So very, very good for Weitse and when it comes to this connection here again between XSpring doing some investments into his company. A couple other things I wanted to quickly go over as well. So when we're talking about expansions as far as different types of technologies are concerned and making a use case out of digital assets such as XRP, it is interesting when you start hearing news articles about countries that are getting developed into this realm here, this ecosystem, and focusing their attention on how they can actually use different types of cryptocurrencies or even digital assets to actually have it as a use case throughout society. And of course, here we have an article coming from ZY Crypto where we see that Australians can now buy their groceries with Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and Litecoin. So very interesting here. We can actually see that Melbourne, Australia actually is focusing on cryptocurrencies, and they took another big step in the mainstream of Australia with My Crypto Wallet, and it's actually one of Australia's leading exchanges, and of course has now launched a My Crypto card, which enables consumers to spend cryptocurrencies at 1 million locations and withdraw money at 30,000 ATMs. That is absolutely huge. Of course, again, this is expanded upon for what sounds to be several different types of cryptocurrencies, but again, you can get into XRP and actually start buying your groceries. You can do this on a very large scale. And the idea that there's actually 1 million locations and also roughly around 30,000 ATMs to be able to interact with when it comes to your cryptocurrencies, going from one currency to another currency, whether it's fiat into digital assets such as XRP or back and forth. The idea that there's that much availability in the country Australia is absolutely huge. This is something that I would imagine is going to be expanded upon when they see the very big success that's going to take place with that country there, because again, now we know that there's the availability of interoperability for different types of methods of buying and purchasing with different types of goods and cryptocurrencies and digital assets. So very expansive when it comes to what's taking place here in Australia. Of course, the article does state here that with the launch of My Crypto Wallet, 5 major cryptocurrencies can now be used anywhere in Australia that accept EFT POS, which is the country's universal payment network. When used to withdraw money at ATMs, the amount is simply deducted from the user's cryptocurrency balance on the My Crypto Wallet platform. In both cases, the cards work just like a debit card from a major bank. So as you can see, anybody in Australia that happens to have a My Crypto card associated associated with their My Crypto Wallet platform can now go to ATMs and start doing interactions when it comes to withdrawing money from those ATMs. And again, you can see it just simply is deducted from their cryptocurrency balance in their wallet platform. Again, a very large scale process is happening in one country, and hopefully we'll start seeing it expand outwards in other countries. Something else I wanted to quickly go over here just as well. When it comes to developments and expansions on different types of applications to make a use case out of cryptocurrencies or digital assets, it's very interesting to see new types of developments happening from people that are actually big names from bigger companies such as Uber and E-Trade. We actually have former executives that created a trading app called Voyager, and this is actually something just recently released. Users will be able to trade with no fees because Voyager acts as a broker, finding the lowest price among multiple exchanges. They only profit if they save you money and find the coins you're buying at a price lower than the current market rate. Then they only take a cut out of what you have saved. So of course you can see here that they're trying to find the very best price point for you to get into a particular cryptocurrency on different types of multiple exchanges. And of course this is done through, again, the Voyager app here. Now, interesting enough, it does give a pretty big list when it comes to the different types of cryptocurrencies you can get into. You have Bitcoin, Ethereum, of course, XRP, Bitcoin Cash, the list goes on. But the idea here, again, is that there's some accessibility for those who are using the Voyager app. And of course, looking a little bit further into the Voyager app, it's actually specified here in this article that if you're looking at getting that, definitely go ahead and set yourself up for the $25 credit that they established there, and then of course install the application afterwards. I definitely would suggest doing that. I took a look at the site itself. You can see here from Voyager's actual site that this is basically where you would go to get yourself set up if you wanted to download the app. And of course you can see that it gives you instructions on how to do that. It also lists the different cryptocurrencies that are available through this app as well. Just keep in mind, if you are looking to take an interest in here and actually download this app, it is very limited at this point in time for certain residents in the United States, for example. So if it's something that's not available in your state, you have to go through and put your information in a waiting list, which is actually at the very bottom here. It says get on the wait list. I actually had to do that as well because in my location is something that's not available right now. But the idea that this right here is going to be expanded upon, giving a lot of people the access via their phone to get into different types of cryptocurrency trading. Again, more importantly, getting yourself into and out of XRP if you're looking to do that. So just simply another type of application that's going to allow for new users to have a little bit more involvement with digital assets. Again, more importantly, such as XRP. One last thing I wanted to quickly go over here just as well. So I just wanted to quickly end this video off on something that I found very interesting when it comes to the relationship of Ripple versus that of JP Morgan and them creating their own cryptocurrency. Recently, Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, came out and stated that, as predicted, banks are changing their tune on crypto, but this JPM project misses the point. Introducing a closed network today is like launching AOL after Netscape's IPO. 2 years later, and bank coins still aren't the answer. So what he's actually stating there is that, yes, JP Morgan actually came out with their own cryptocurrency, but it's almost a day late and a buck short. In this point in time, Ripple, their company, and of course their products they have to offer and making a use case out of XRP is so far ahead of the game that really the JP Morgan coin is just behind, and it's really not going to be the most innovative or really the most effective type of cryptocurrency out there when it comes to allowing for money to be transferred from one bank to another. So with that being said, just keep in mind that, again, Brad Garlinghouse is just specifying that the information that we're getting when it comes to this JPM coin is really a little bit late to the whole technology bandwagon. And of course, Ripple, I would imagine, is just going to maintain their focus on expanding their growth to as many banks and financial institutions on a global scale there, and of course continuously making a use case out of XRP as far as its cross-border payments opportunity and the availability for it to settle different types of payments in that manner. I would also imagine as well that it's something that's not absolutely going to be threatened by the JPM coin by any measure of the spectrum. Ripple's made a substantial amount of headway when it comes to, again, connecting with banks and financial institutions and even exchanges, that now we have a substantial amount of people out there looking at XRapid as a particular protocol that might help save them a lot of money in the long run. So keep all that in mind, guys. I just wanted to kind of reiterate some of this really good news, especially when we start seeing a lot more of the negativity coming out and really trying to expose this ugly head against Ripple or XRP or even your own favorite digital asset out there. So keep all that in mind, guys. Thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like and subscribe button. Take advantage of any of those links to secure cryptocurrencies either offline through the Ledger Nano or simply through the Uphold wallet on your digital phone there. And of course, if you're looking to trade